India has beaten Pakistan off the final ball to win one of the great T20 matches at the World Cup. Needing 28 to win off the final 8 deliveries, Virat Kohli steered his team home to a famous victory.
What have you got, Nawaz? Ashwin goes over, clears the infield. India win a famous win.
Let's bring in Brendan Julian from Fox Cricket. Brendan, this was an extraordinary match, watching it on Fox Sports last night. The MCG heaving. Ian Smith, the commentator, former New Zealand cricketer, Black Cap, saying he's never seen anything like it in terms of atmosphere.
Look, it was quite remarkable, wasn't it, Kieran? Probably, as you say, one of the great games in T20 cricket. But Pakistan and India, the rivalry goes back decades, and they always bring out big crowds. The ratings for this will be over 1 billion people watching it. It's great to see people coming in from all around the world. 90,000 people filling up the MCG. Normally, you'd expect that from a World Cup final. And who knows, Kieran, these two teams could get into the World Cup final. What a great game, though. I thought the way Pakistan played was really impressive. They probably deserved to win that game, but so good to see Virat Kohli. He's had a pretty rough couple of months in terms of form, but for him to come back and get that game over the line, they were all gone. But for him to stay there, he took the game deep, and then the final over from Nawaz was a very, very difficult one. You don't often see a left-arm spinner bowling the last over of a game, but to get up and get over and win that game. Look out, India look impressive now, don't they? I mean, they've got their momentum, they've got some big players back there playing, but to get over in front of 90,000 people and win that game, they were gone for all money and didn't have all the drama. We saw some wides, we saw a free hit, we saw a no ball. We saw that run there where they took 3. I didn't even know you could do that. I thought after being bowled, hit the stump on a free hit, I thought it was actually dead ball. So for me to realise that they'd run 3, got them over the line, and then a wide to finish it off. But great win from India, though.
Those 2 sixes were incredible, weren't they, from Kohli? One where he basically hit it to one of the longest boundaries at the MCG from a slower ball, and then the flick over, I guess it was deep square leg, and another 6 back to back. Yeah. Unbelievable.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, the MCG straight's pretty not pretty short, but it is shorter than obviously square of the boundary, and to cover the boundary over mid-wicket, especially off the left-arm spinner as well, and also off the quick bowlers. I mean, Pakistan's bowlers were phenomenal, I thought, last night. They bowled close to 150 kilometres an hour. Harris Ruff was impressive. Afridi was impressive, the big quick as well. But the way Virat Kohli went about it was equally impressive. I thought he was quite slow at the start. You know, he was 21, he was 12 of 21, and then all of a sudden, he just got going. They backed themselves to take the game. I mean, they needed 30-odd. 28 off 2 overs. I mean, you don't often get that. You would give that to the bowling side 9 times out of 10. But for him to get up, play those shots at the crunch moment. I mean, Kieran, this is a stage where you get into the backyard and you're saying, okay, what do I need? I need 16 off the last over. I'm going to give it a bit of a crack. But for him to do it in front of a big crowd at a big moment was outstanding, wasn't it?
It really was, and Kohli being the champion that he is. I remember your former teammate and colleague at Fox Cricket, Shane Warne, used to speak about him in such glowing terms about what a star, what a champion Kohli was. Can you reflect on that for our viewers?
Oh, look, mate, I agree. I mean, Kohli would be up there with Sachin Tendulkar. His record actually might go past Sachin Tendulkar on the test side of it. And Sachin played to his late 30s. I think Virat can do that. He's super fit. He's extremely dedicated. And what I loved about his press conference at the end, he said it was a privilege to play in this situation and these pressure moments. And that's what he loves about the game. He is great for the game, whether it be T20 cricket or Test cricket. And he's one of the finest players going around. I mean, often people talk about, Samuel Gavaskar or Sachin Tendulkar or Brian Lara. This guy, Kieran, he's up there with all of them. And he will go down as one of the great players in cricket, period. And, for people to get out there and watch him in Australia, it's worth the money that you pay for.
Absolutely, and as you alluded to, across all forms, unbelievable player. Just finally, got a minute left. It'd be remiss of me if I didn't get your thoughts on the Australian loss to New Zealand.
Exactly. Mate, you're right. The Aussies got to do better, no doubt about it. They won't change the team. They can't change the team because they've backed themselves into a corner. If they wanted to try and get Steve Smith into the side, well, basically you'd have to drop probably Aaron Finch, that's all. Maxwell probably needs to step up a bit as well. He's one guy that probably hasn't quite got it done. But all in all, they've been in this situation before. But the net run rate is what it's going to be difficult for them. They need to win, and they need to win big. They take on Sri Lanka in Perth in a couple of days' time. That's one game that they need to get up and win big time. Their quick bowlers probably did an okay job, but they didn't start very well. They didn't change the pace. They bowled too full. And full credit to New Zealand. Nothing comes across like the Kiwis taking on Australia and the way that they played. And they were so aggressive, weren't they? That's the way you've got to play in this World Cup, Karen. If you want to win it, you've got to be aggressive in the power play in the first 6 overs with the ball, or you've got to be aggressive with the bat. That's where this World Cup will get won.
Brendan, Julian, great to get your insights as always. See you next week. Thanks.
Good on you, mate.